afternoon, everybody. This is Bob Delaney speaking to you from Yankee Stadium in New York, where this afternoon the Yankees and the Orioles conclude their two-game series. The Yankees winning the first two games and trying for the sweep today. They'll send Jim Coates to the mound. Coates pitched opening day for the Yankees and beat the Boston Red Sox. He'll be opposed by Bill Fisher of the Baltimore Orioles. Weather-wise, the weather has cleared off after a cloudy morning. Thunder showers overnight. The temperature in the 50s. But the sun is coming through the high sky, and it would appear that we're going to have a pleasant afternoon for the baseball game. Red Barber is at the controls. We'll be picking him up in just a moment. Coates swings into the windup. And here is the first pitch of the ball game. It's way outside, ball one.
Mantle is in center field, but when he first came out onto the field, it was a question whether he could play or not. You remember yesterday he put a foul down on his right foot, and his right toe is swollen and quite painful. Coates delivers for a called strike. Right through. 1-1. When Mickey came out on the bench, he said to Casey, I don't think I can do it, but I want to go out and see if I can loosen it up. Casey said, well, all right, if you can play, fine. If not, I'll have somebody out there. So Mickey ran around and found that he could stand the pressure, and he's going. 1-1 pitch is a curve swung on and missed. Looking on the outside, Breeding, I think, winced after he swung, realizing he went after a bad pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coates is 1-0 this year, and he was 6-1 last year. This is the start of his second season with the Yankees. And they put a very high value on him. He's a 6-foot whipcord-like right-hander. Deals. Ball strike 3. There was a slider that took the outside corner of the plate. And Breeding is caught looking. And now we've got Al Kolosik, who is in center field, to get the left-hand batter in against this right-hander. Casey had started left-handed the first 2 games, and Pasley was in center. Richard will put Jackie Brandt back in center field at his present thinking when Brandt's full leg is well and he is able to move. 1 out, nobody on, just the start of things. Kolosik, the left-hand hitter, is pinch hit in both of the previous games. Takes the pitch low inside, ball 1. Kolosik is 2 for 3 this season. Sound is at first base, Richardson is second, Kubek at short, and it is good to see that McDougal has recovered from his intestinal virus and is back at third. Lopez, who's doing an excellent job out in left, is there. Mantle in center, Storefoot and all, and Barra is in right. This is Yogi's first game. That's a swinging foul. 1-1. Yogi was the first to get this virus. He missed the series at Boston and missed the first 2 games here. And then with Maris having a skinned shin and also a sprained ankle on that play going into second base yesterday, Yogi goes to right. So he's been in and out of the outfield. In fact, he first came to the Yankees as an outfielder, if you'll recall. He was converted to a catcher. 1-1 pitch is a change of pace, high outside. Ball 2. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Washington will be in here. No, the Red Sox will be in here Tuesday, and Washington will be in here Wednesday. Single games each. The single field that Gabler will go for in Tuesday and probably Ford Wednesday. Pitch is just too low. Ball 3. 3-1. Frank Humont calling balls and strikes behind the plate. This is the fellow that used to play on the line for the football Giants. Cal Drummond is at first. Charlie Berry, former Major League catcher, is at second, and Larry Knapp is at third. The 3-1 pitch swung on foul back. Speaking of the athletic background of these umpires, Larry Knapp is one of the big-time fight referees in the off-season, and during World War II, he was an instructor in judo. He's quite an athlete. And Drummond is new. I'll have to look him up and find out. Balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on, no score. start of the ball game. The pitch is swung on and hit down toward the right field corner. Bell is going over close to the wall, and the ball is in there for a home run. Well, Bell got to run, and that's all. Polacic is also running. He's around third. And running his home run home, he's at the plate, and it is 1-0 in favor of the Orioles. Well, our good friend Bob Fischel, in his notes, made a point that Yankee pitchers have not given up a home run since the 8th inning on April 19, a total of 37 in the third inning, so you can throw that one away. 1-0 Baltimore. And here is Jackie Brand, right-hand hitter. Looking for his first hit at the stadium. Takes an inside pitch. Ball 1. Pitch is curve swung on and missed. I said Bob Fischel sent that note over. Now, maybe it was Pete Collison, our statistician. Let's find out whose note it was. Mr. Collison said that was his note. And it's past tense now. Curve ball over for call, strike 2. 1 and 2. I think Pete feels rather badly about it. I think he regrets he wrote the note. He said he's not going to write anymore like that. Pete, I don't think he had a thing to do with Coach throwing the ball or Polacic swinging at it. You go ahead with your note. Grant cuts on the curve. Foul tips it. 1 and 2. That's one thing I don't have any stock in. That so-called hoodoo business about jinxing anything. For goodness sake. You can sit down there at your typewriter in the press room, boy, and you can influence where that baseball goes. You can make a lot more money on the bench with singles than you can up here with Allen, Rizzuto, and Barber. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brandt wearing number 7 for the Birds. Outfield is shading him toward last. Coach delivers into the dirt. He tried to pull the string and pulled it too much. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 and 2. Light breeze is coming in from center field. Pitch is swung on and missed. He's throwing a quick curveball, and he kicked it foul. Howard held it. So, 2 outs. Both strikeouts. And now we have Gene Woodling. Gene is hitting .333, 6 for 18. Richardson, in the third inning, really robbed him of a base hit yesterday. Outfield very much toward right. Infield is deep on the right side and overshifted toward first. Change of pace is low inside. Ball 1. 1-0. 2 down. 1-0 Baltimore. Polacic a home run. Like it went about 5 feet fair inside right field corner. A called strike. There was a slider on the inside under the belt. 1-1. Got a good crowd on hand. This Baltimore ball club will be an exciting team to watch increasingly as their young players develop. Change of pace is low outside. Ball 2. Manager Richards is going to, starting today, his next, well, his 5 starting pitchers in a line will be 22 or younger. 22 or younger. Oh, that's great when you've got those young arms, huh? The Yankees have got some this year, too. 2-1 pitch is low inside. Ball 3, curveball. One of the young Yankee pitchers, Coach. Last year was his first year up. A very sound impression. You know what Stengel thinks of him. He had him as his opening day pitcher Tuesday up at Boston. 3-1 delivery. High. Ball 4. And Woodling, who is a tough fellow to pitch to, Walks off to first base, and now we have Jim Gentile. He's a big fella from San Francisco. He's 6'4", 215 pounds. He's been around professional ball club since 1952 when he started out at Santa Barbara. He was formerly in the Dodger organization. Takes the pitch high inside, ball one. He played with Los Angeles in 12 ball games in 58. Last year at St. Paul, he hit 288, batted in 87 runs. Hitting 364 this year. He's 4 for 11. 2 down, Woodling at first. Fastball high outside, ball 2. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. 2 out. Taking the sign from Howard. Elkson's caught every Yankee game this year. Pitch is swung on, and the bat goes all the way back to first base. Oh, he took a touch, didn't touch the ball, missed it completely, and the bat went all the way to the stands and back to first base. Woo! He's going back over to see there's a rag that has been saturated in some sort of gummy solution. Ted Williams started that a few years ago in the league, and some other fellows have picked it up. Gentile going over to dry his hands. Two balls, 1 strike. Vlasic homered here in the first inning, 1-0 Baltimore. Woodling with a base on balls, 2 out at the first base. I'll say this for Gentile is back up there. He sure just had himself a swing. Pitch delivers, and Gentile swings again. Went up the low inside curve. He missed the ball again, but he held the bat this time. We just received a note from Bob Fischel that Joe Soers, trainer in the Yankee system since 1951, who was a trainer at Richmond, is coming into the stadium to fill in for Gus March while he is hospitalized and recuperating. There's a high pop-up up by second base. Tony Kubek is claiming the ball, and he has it. That one was way up there. So it is 1 run on 1 hit. That's the home run by Vlasic, and the score at the end of half an inning. Baltimore 1 and New York 0.
The sound of a lubrication gun. And that's battery terminals being sprayed against corrosion. Sounds like floor mats and upholstery being swept clean. What's going on? An Atlantic Safety Service lubrication is going on. And most of the sounds you hear are extra services, bonus features from your Atlantic dealer. Like emptying crammed ashtrays, for instance, or lubricating sticky door latches, or checking tires for pressure as well as cuts and bruises. It all starts with a thorough lubrication based on the latest specifications for your car, and then keeps right on going with extra bonus features. Ask for it by name. Atlantic Safety Service Lubrication.
the first inning. Bobby Richardson, Hector Lopez, Mickey Mantle. Ralph Howe coaching down at first. Frank Cruzetti coaching at third. And Jack Fisher puts the first pitch right over there for a called strike. Fisher's 1-1 this year. This is his third time out. He's one of Paul Richards' fine young strong arms. Richardson swings and hits the ball into short right field for a base hit. And for a single. It was sort of a high line drive. Not a true one. Bobby's on, base hit. And we have Hector Lopez stepping in. Fisher is from Frostburg, Maryland. Just 21. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. He's had pretty good experience. He was with Knoxville in 57, again in 58. Got up to Baltimore in 59 for 27 games, and last year was at Miami part of the time, 12 games. His first pitch to Lopez is over for a strike. Outfield around toward left. Lopez hitting 222. Infield is halfway in. That's Gentile at first base, Breeding at second, Hanson at short, Robinson at third. Curveball is inside, ball 1. 1-1. Big Triandos got the twos on back of the plate today. Woodling is in left field. Center fielder is Kolosik, who has accounted for the game's only tally with his home run earlier this first inning. And out in right field is Jackie Brandt. 1-1 pitch. Curve swung on, hit into right field. And Richardson is down at second and holds on Brandt's arm. Brandt threw out Lopez at the plate yesterday, and the Yankees learned about his arm very rudely. So, Lopez with a curve into right, and this gets Mantle to the plate. Now was runners at first and second. Deep around toward right. Mickey hitting 286. Holds up on a low inside breaking ball. Ball 1. Mantle 4 for 14. Pitch is the fastball low. Ball 2. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Pitcher with man at first and second. Nobody out. Delivers a call strike. He gets the inside nick of the plate. Mantle looking back at Umar, vesting with him a little bit. Mickey thought the ball was inside. Umar said no. It bit it. All right, 2-1. Pitch is a called second strike. He's thrown a little bit off the fastball to the outside. All right, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Outside. Ball 3, full count, 3-2. Fisher is about to get one foot in the pickle bat, if he's not careful. 3-2 with Mantle. Richardson and Lopez, the singles, second and first. Bella waiting on deck for his first at bat. 3-2 pitch. Low inside, ball 4. And Fisher comes down off the mound, kicking on the call. Leandros talking to Umont. Now, bases are loaded. 2 singles followed by a walk to Mickey. There's Bella, who has not been up this year. We're speaking now, of course, of the regulation season, because he had an excellent spring. And because he was in such good condition this spring, Stengel wasn't too perturbed about Yogi missing the first 5 games. Now, outfield toward right, infield up a step. Yogi swinging, fouls an inside curve off. Strike 1. 3 men on, nobody out. And they are starting to star in back of left center field in the Vistas bullpen. Strike 1 to Berra. Fisher pumps. Deals. The change of pace, and Yogi lines it into center for a base hit. Here is Richardson coming in. Here is Lopez coming in. Mantle cruises to third. Yogi holds at first, and he produces 2 runs with a base hit on his first at-bat of the year. Gordon Jones has got up in the bullpen for Baltimore to start warming up, and he's wasting no time. Well, Mr. Berra has got the season underway for himself. Line single to center. 2 runs batted in. It is now a 2-1 ball game. Runs, 3 hits, and no errors for New York. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Baltimore. The batter is Bill Skowron. And the Moose has had a hot bat. He had it all spring, and even Honowin, once they lifted the curtain, he's hitting 500, 10 for 20. Batted in 6. We got a chance to bat in some more right here with men at first and third. Moose swinging, fouls it into the third deck behind first base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swings, and it's a base hit into right field between first and second. In comes Mantle, and here's Berra headed for third base. Goes in there ahead of the throw. And Skowron comes up with his 11th hit, drives in his 7th run, and it is 3-1 in favor of New York. The Yankee ball club has come alive once the regular season started, hasn't it? So a single to right for Skowron. Runners are still at first and third. And the hitter is McDougal. And Luman Harris is walking out to the mound. He usually carries the letter edged in black. So Fisher has been unable to get anybody out. Harris is standing out there talking with Fisher and with Leandros. It may be that he's just killing time to let Gordon Jones get a couple more throws and out there at the bullpen. Of course, it could be that Harris is going to leave him in. I don't know. Yes, they're going to stay with him. So Luman is going back alone into the dugout. Fisher steps up on the rubber. Leandros settles down to give the sign. McDougal, right-hand batter, up there. It is 3-1 now in favor of the Yankees. A curve is over for a strike. McDougal hitting .308. He was 4 for 13 up at Boston, including a home run. Curve swung on and lined inside third base. The left field corner. Base hit. Barrow's coming in with a 4th run. The Moose is going into third base standing, and it's a double for McDougal. So it is 4-1, New York. Nobody out. McDougal lined the ball inside third and down in the left field corner. And here's Harris coming out again. And, of course, under the American League rule, if you come out a second time, you must remove the pitcher. So Bauer has counted. It is 4-1, New York. And 5 hits and a base on ball. That's what's happened so far in the last of the first inning. So Harris has the ball. We'll probably dismiss Fisher and let him go on in. They're waiting for the man to come out of the bullpen and back to left center field. Well, this will give us a chance to run down what's going to be happening here at baseball's great ballpark, Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox will be in Tuesday for a single game. Washington will be in Wednesday for a single game. Then the Yankees go down for the weekend to Baltimore. Then they come back, and it's the first swing through the Western Club. Here's the man coming out of left field now. Detroit comes in on Tuesday the 3rd. And that's the 2-game series with the Bengals. It's Kaline, Colavito, and company. The 3rd and 4th, Tuesday and Wednesday of May. And then Kansas City is in Friday and Saturday, the 6th and 7th. And Saturday, the 7th of May, will be the first latest day of the season. The White Sox are in for 1 game and 1 day. That is Sunday, May 8th. That'll be a big one. Defending pennant winners. The first night game of the season is with the Cleveland Indians on Tuesday, the 10th. And the Cleveland series is a 3-game one with afternoon games Wednesday and Thursday, May 11 and 12. And then the Yankees go to Washington, make their first swing through the West. And we'll be back at the end of the match. Gordon Jones is taking over. The fellow used to be over in the National League. He won 8 and lost 12 over there. And he relieved on the 21st at Washington. 5th inning, wasn't scored upon. So this is his second relief assignment. He's 6 feet, 190 pounds. Gordon Jones. He's quite an experienced fellow. He started out in professional ball in 49 with Fresno. He was in the St. Louis organization, got up with the Cardinals for part of 54, 55, part of 56. Then got over with the Giants. With them in 11 ball games in 58, and last year was 31 ball games. And he came along in the deal with Brandt for Odell and Lowe's. Gordon Jones. Well, Fisher gets no one out but himself. He really had a rough time, this young man. Richardson and Lopez opened with singles. Mantle walked with the bases loaded. Berra topped the single for 2 runs. Down single to right for another one. McDougal had just doubled. So it is a 4-1 ball game in favor of the Yankees. Austin Howard is the hitter and the starting catcher all season. Cowan is at third, McDougal at second. The infield is up. Outfield toward left, and Howard hits to the right field corner. If it stays fair, it's a home run inside the foul pole. 7-1. In retired, the Yankees have banged 7. And there's a little bit of a story about Howard's home run. When he came on the bench today, Casey said, Elston, why don't you take a shot at right field? You've been trying too hard to pull. Well, that's what I heard. That's what I just saw. That's all I know about it. Well, Mr. Jones got warmly greeted. The first 6 runs are charged to the young starter, Jack Fisher. Howard's home run is charged, of course, to Jones. And now here is Kubek, the 8th man up. Outfield toward right. Jones, the right-hander, delivers inside under the hands. Ball 1. Well, that's a lot of runs before you give up an out, you know it. is swung on. There's a ball hit toward right field. It is back, and it's a home run. Well, Kubek hit the home run. That follows right on the heels of Howard's, and it is now 8-1 in favor of the Yankees, and they still haven't given up an out. And here is Jim Coates, and he is the beneficiary of all this. These runs are all his. 8-1 in favor of the Yankees. Pete Callison's in the record book to see if this is a record for the most runs scored if anybody's out, or if there's anything like that. I don't know. Boys, this is what you call starting off in high gear. Jones delivers, and the pitch is over. Took a little off the fastball for a called strike. So Jones has come in to relieve, pitched to 2 men, giving up 2 home runs. Pitch is a curve over for called strike 2. Coach the pitcher's up. He's 1 for 3. Well, here's the record. The Yankees have tied the American League record, but they're too short of the National League record for the most runs started the game with none out. In 1911, the Giants against the Cardinals made 10 runs before they gave up an out. That's the Major League record. The American League record was in 54, the Indians against the Orioles. Made 8 runs before a man is out. Well, gee, I guess Baltimore ought to feel shell-shocked. This is the second time it's happened to them. Coach swings and misses, strike 3. So the Yankees tie the American League record. And this is the second time since Baltimore came back into the Major League that the Orioles have had an opposing ball club make 8 runs before giving up an out.
1460 on the radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The current temperature is 64 degrees, 24 minutes before 3.
Curve over for a called strike. Gordon Jones. Outfield is shading Bobby around toward left. He has 4 for 20 now. Pitch is low inside, ball 1. 1-1. Pitch. The curve that Richardson checks his swing on is low outside, ball 2. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Pitch is swung on as a high fly ball straight up to center field. Pulisic camped under it. He has it. Okay, we have 2 men out. So that's the fact. The Yankees just made 8 runs before giving up an out, and they have taken a rather commanding early lead, 8-1. Here's Hector Lopez. Pitches and it's an inside curve. We saw Dizzy Dean and Pee Wee Reese, who is his new broadcasting partner this year, on one of the network game of the day. That's the coverage which is to minor league parts of the country. It has to be excluded from major league areas. There's a bounce ball back to the mound, and Jones throws over to first, and Lopez is the fire. The Yankees send 11 men to the plate, and they scored 8 of them before a man was out. 8 runs. 7 hits, base on ball, no errors, nobody left. So at the end of the first inning, it is 8-1 in favor of New York. Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Buell versus Haddix, and it is 1-0 in favor of the Pirates, end of 2. San Francisco is at Chicago. Odell versus Anderson, and Willie Mays has hit a home run for the Giants in the first inning, and Bessard is still batting. Los Angeles at St. Louis, Padres versus Miller. This one is 8-1 in favor of the Yankees. And here is Brooks Robinson, the young, able third baseman. Jim Coates is a rich man now with a 7-run lead. His second start. He won opening day at Boston. Pitches. Go outside. Ball one. Coates pitching, Howard catching. He's been a catcher all the season. Scowen at first. Richardson is at second. Kubek is at short. And McDougal is at third. Lopez in left. Mantle, tight a sore. Bruce Foote is in center. And Burr is in right. There's a high top fly out to left center field. Mantle is coming on. And he has it. Roger Maris is unable to play and sliding into second base to pick up a double play. He not only skinned his left shin, but he also slightly sprained his left ankle. And Stengel was saying that he should have taken him out right then, but he let him play a couple of innings too long yesterday. Chandos, big right-hand batter, takes a called strike, puts third in just above the knees. Robinson won up there at 190. Chandos is up there now at 214. One out, inning two. Curve into the dirt, go outside. 1-1. Pitch swung on, grounded foul outside third. Coughlin, third base coach Lymon Harris makes the stop. Puts the ball over to McDougal. Really opened up with a blast, didn't he? One-two pitch is a fastball swung on, and it's a high pop-up into short left field. The shortstop, Kubek, is out. He's under it. And he has it. So we have two down. In case you just tuned in, here's the way the Yankees started the ball game. Richardson singled to right center. Lopez singled into right. Mantle walked to fill the bases. Bell on his first at-bat of the season singled to knock in two. Scowen singled to knock in one more. McDougal doubled inside third base to knock in another one, and that caused the removal of the starting pitcher, Jack Fisher. Gordon Jones came on, and Howard promptly homered to right inside the pole, and then Kubek followed with a home run. 8 out men, just like that. Hanson, a tall right-hand hitter, is a shortstop. It's a curveball to outside, ball one. Jim Coates operating with its 8-1 lead. They're not playing Hanson to pull. He swings at a fastball. 1-1. Mantle is pretty well over toward right center. Barr's a little bit back toward the line. Now, Yogi has quite a sense of humor. When he was told that he was going to be the right fielder, he said, all right. And then Mantle said, well, I don't know whether I can play or not. I got this bad foot. Fastball inside. Ball two. And Yogi says, oh, you can play all right. He says, I cover most of the territory out there anyhow. Well, make you laugh. I think you felt better immediately. Two-one pitch is swung on and missed. He lays that in there. 2-2. Touch throws the ball hard. 8-1. Favor New York. 2-2 pitch is swung on. There's a high fly ball into left field. Lopez is under it. Behind it. Nothing across. 3 pop-ups of Coach's fastball. And the score at the end of an inning and a half. The Yankees 8 and the Orioles 1. Well, here we go. Last half of the second inning. The Yankees leading 8-1 after tying an American League record of scoring 8 runs before giving up an out. First inning. And here is Mantle, who walked in the first inning. His walk, which was mixed in with 7 hits, the last 2 home runs by Howard and Kubek. Relief pitch to Jones, the right-handed delivers, and Mantle hitting left-handed takes low inside, ball 1. 1-0. Not too very much toward right. Mickey swings at a high drive deep to center field. Gloucester going back, and it's over his head and against the wall on 1 count. And Mickey's around second base. He's turning into third base, and Cazzetti holds him up. Boy, did he hit it. He hit that ball just to the right of the 461-foot mark. I would say it must have been about 455 feet that ball carried. And on a very short hop, is right up against the wall. Velocic just had no chance of overtaking that one. Boy, the New York bats have come alive. Now we've got the redoubtable Mr. Berra, who on his first appearance of the season singled to knock in 2 runs in the first inning. The infield is up. Mick is at third. 8-1 New York. A curveball is over for a strike to Yob. He's batting 1,000 right now. Man, when Mantle hits that ball, it really goes. And he hits them so high, you have an adequate opportunity of watching it. Pitch is a curve into the dirt, low inside, and a nice save by Triandos. All right, ball and a strike. A couple of days ago, Mantle scored his 1,000th run as a Yankee, so he's now working on his second 1,000. Berra takes a curve low inside again. Ball 2. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Berra swings. There's another base hit. He's still hitting 1,000. He hits this one to left field. Mantle scores to make it 8-1. Berra's on his way for second base. He's going to be close. He just makes it. He's slid around back to the second baseman. It's a double into left field for Yogi. So, the Yankee bats continue booming. Mantle has scored for the second time. Berra has now batted in 3. The first 6 runs were off starter Jack Fisher. The next 3 off relief man Jones. And it is 9-9-0 for New York. 9 runs and 9 hits. No errors. And here's the Moose, who's got Berra at the pickup point at second. Curran singled to right field in that 8-run first inning before a man was retired. The general manager of the New York Yankees, George White, has not been feeling well lately. And I imagine that what is happening today as he gets the news is just exactly the ideal medicine. Okay, down up, swings and has a high drive to deep left center field. Velocic going back. Berra tagged to second base. Velocic makes the catch way out yonder, and Berra is on his way over to third and makes it easily. Standing up. So Curran is out. 1 down. Berra now at third base, and the hitter is McDougal. We hit a line double between the third baseman and third base itself, and down in the left and down into the left field corner in the first inning. Still around toward left. Infield a little more than halfway up for the runner at third. Pitch is outside. Ball 1. 1-0. Triandos trudges out to the mound. Got there talking with Jones. The general rule when a catcher goes out after a pitch, probably a sign has been misinterpreted. 9-1, favor the Yankees. Pitch the curve swung on. There's a high fly ball into fairly short left center. The shortstop is back. Bella can't come in to score after the catch by shortstop Hampton. So we have 2 out. Yoga still 90 feet away from the plate, and here's Howard. He'll hit the ball just inside the right field pole for a home run in the first inning. Pitch swung on. Howard hit the line drive to center. Pulaski going back, and the ball sails over his head. It's going to the wall. Howard may try and come all the way in. He's at second base now. The ball is picked up, thrown in, and they're going to stop him at third base. Boy, he had a high clothesline that as Pulaski kept going back, the ball just rolled. It took a second flight. And it's a big stinging triple for Howard, and it is now 10-1. As this goes Bella, so Howard suddenly breaks loose. As do the Yankees right on up and down the list. Bella throwing for the second time. Howard's second hit, his 4th RBI. And Luman Harris is walking out to the mound to talk to his relief pitcher. Tony Kubek, who homered in the first inning, is waiting to be the next batter. 2 men are out. And the Yankees continue on this rampage. They're now leading 10-1. Here in the second inning, a triple by Mantle, a double by Bella, a long fly ball by Stein. And after the pop by McDougall, then this line triple by Howard. See, Harris is still talking to Jones and Triandos, and plate umpire Umart is moving out there now to say, come on, make up your mind. And they're leaving him in. At this point, you might say that Jones has become expendable. All right, here's Kubek. Howard leading down off third. I guess he feels this is New Year's Day with these 2 big base hits. Kubek hit the home run in the first inning for the 8th run. Swings and hits this one back toward right field, and it is in there again. Successive home run, and it is now a 12-1 ball game. And here is Jim Coates, who's about the richest man in New York right now with an 11-run lead. And if you don't think pitchers don't think that way, you got another thought coming. Outfield back toward right. Coates takes the strike. 0-1. Well, Turner didn't waste any time. He laced it and got it just inside the foul pole. The Yankees have been sharpshooting today. Strike 1 pitch is swung on, fouled off. Strike 2. Coach went after a curve. Right, 12-1, New York. And 2 out, last of the second inning. This is going to be quite some news around the whole league. Yankee ball club hitting that ball. It will be noted in 6 other places. Pitch high inside, out of his ball 1. Coach had to fall down away from the pitch. Gets up, dusts off his suit. That seemed to be a curveball. It got too high. Inside. 1-2 pitch is just inside ball 2. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Curve swung on and missed. Sanders dropped the ball and just picks it up and thanks Coach as he stands there. So Jim is struck out. And again for the Yankees in the last half of the second inning. 1, 2, 3, 4 runs. On 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. All out of them extra bases. At the end of 2 innings then, the Yankees 12 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. The Orioles 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors.
Well, the carnage continues here at Yankee Stadium as the Yankees, who confused everybody during spring training by not looking like a winning ball club, have since opening day performed like the Yankees of old, and today like the most powerful Yankees of old. Phil Rizzuto was just over here. We were visiting a moment, talking about Tony Kubek, and he said just during spring training, he said, I think Kubek has finally learned how to hit that inside pitch, and he may hit a lot more home runs. Well, Tony has hit 2 inside pitches very neatly into the right field corner. It's 12-1 New York as we go to the top of the third. Bob Boyd is batting. And the first pitch is ball 1 outside. Let's pick up Red Barber.
Left-hand batter. He can give you trouble up there at the plate. Takes a strike. 1-1. He is a very supple athlete. Has tremendously quick hands. Ted Williams says that is the secret of batting success. Quick hands with a bat. Serve is high. Ball 2. The Yankees also smashing 2-inning lead, 12-1. Infield is Cowan, Richardson, Kubek, McDougal. Pitch outside, ball 3. Lopez in left, Mantle in center, and with Maris hurt, Bella is in right. Coach pumps. Deals 3-1. Boyd swinging, fouls it into the stands behind third. 3-2. Yankees putting on quite a show today. Howard and Kubek and their aggregate of 4 at-bats represent 15 bases. There's a high pop fly that Kubek is backpedaling under. Takes, and the pinch hitter is retired. 1 out. Howard, a home run and a triple. Kubek, successive home runs. Bella's knocked in 3 with a bases-loaded single and a double. The second go-round for the Orioles. Marv Breeding took a third strike to start the ball game. Rookie second baseman, right-hand batter. Fastball is foul back. If you look at your scorebook, you can see that Coach must be pitching fast and high. Because of his first 9 putouts, 2 were strikeouts, and the rest of them were all fly balls. There's a high inside curve. He slowed up on too much. Ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. Coach Rock deals. Lays that one in, and Breeding took the cut and didn't get it. 1-2. Two strikes. Pitch. Fastball swung on. Foul back. Still 1-2. for another sign. Howard staying low, back of the plate. The pitch is just outside. 2-2. Red Sox here for a single game Tuesday. Washington in for a single game on Wednesday. You folks, when you come out here Tuesday, you're going to get a look at Gabler, who was the winning pitcher of the last game up at Boston. Fastball is hit on the ground to Kubek. That's the first grounder we've had. Approach first base in time, and Breeding is up. 2 up, 2 down. I mean, that's the first ground ball that the Orioles have hit. The Yankees have only hit one. That was Lopez, second at bat in the first inning, bounced it back to the pitcher. Now Pulaski hit a first inning home run, got Baltimore started 1-0, which is all but forgotten now. The Yankees answering back from 12 runs in 2 innings. Pitch is in there for a strike, nothing in 1. Outfield toward right on Pulaski. 12-1, New York. Change of pace is outside, and it is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coach ready. Deals. Fastball low inside, ball 2. 2-1. This pitch, Pulaski swinging, fouls it off. 2-2. The high fastball. Coach is ready. Pitches. There's a ball hit foul into the stands alongside left field. Still 2-2. Pulaski is a trim figure. He's not big as most of these ball players go. Coach, tall, wiry. Deals a change of pace that's swung on. There's a high fly out to right field. Here's Berra coming in. He's under it. He's got it. And the big crowd who loves Yogi gives him a hand for the catch. He made it look easy. And the score at the end, 2.5 innings. The Yankees 12 and the Orioles 1.
As we go to the bottom of the third, and Bobby Richardson hits for the third time in as many innings. He'll lead off. The Yankees, for those of you who may have joined us late, tied an American League record in the first inning by scoring 8 runs before the first man was retired. And they picked up 4 more in the second inning. Tony Kubek has hit a pair of home runs. Mickey Mantle hit a tremendous drive that must have carried 450 feet on the fly. That would have been out of, I believe, just about every other ballpark in the Major League save for this one. It went for a triple. Oh, the Yankees have really been cannonading. Albie Pearson has gone into left field as Paul Richards now is making some changes inasmuch as the Orioles are 11 runs shy. They've got considerable time to catch up, but that's a pretty big deficit to overcome, particularly with Jim Brunstad breezing along. Talk about a pitcher's dream, a 12-1 lead at the end of 2.5 innings. Jim Brunstad, I meant Jim Coates had the advantage of an 11-run lead.
Some guys can't get 2 or 3 in a ball game in 9 innings. Jim was given 8 runs to work on when he went out to pitch the top of the 2nd inning. Then he got 4 more. Well, let's see what happens now as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Bobby Richardson moving into the batter's box and moving in to tell you about the bottom of the 3rd will be Red Barber.
He is from Maryland, and his father's family originally came from the Midwest out in Illinois. Seems rather funny for me to write down B-A-R-B-E-R batting order. Here is Richardson, who is 1 for 2. Left-hander deals, and Richardson swinging, hits the bounding ball back of the mound. It's a slow one to second baseman, and Breeding makes the play, and Richardson's out. Probably slid at the last moment, hoping to beat the throw to first. Couldn't do it. Nice play by second baseman Breeding. And now we have Hector Lopez, who was 1 for 2 in that first inning. Single to right. Barber pitches, and it is a strike. Up around the armpit. Lopez has to have the ball examined. Plate umpire Umont is inspecting it and finds that it is okay. Leaves it in play. Deals the fastball in there for strike 2. Nothing in 2. He can throw hard. Estrada, another one of those young pitchers. We saw him yesterday. He can throw hard. Jerry Walker's another one. Pappas, who is going to get the next start. Foul back. Still 2 strikes. Nothing in 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch low inside, ball 1. 1 and 2. Detroit just went on a rampage in the first inning of their ball game with Chicago and scored 6 runs. Go ahead 6-0. Pitch into the dirt in front of the plate. 2 and 2. Lou Berberette hit a home run with the bases loaded for the Tigers. And this was off Mr. Early Wynn, too. Detroit hasn't lost one. And they will be in here May 3 and 4. Be quite a series, won't it? Always is between the Yankees and the Tigers. The 2-2 pitch to Lopez is just outside, ball 3. 3 and 2. One out. Pass to the 3rd. There's a ground ball that is hit high speed to short. Hanson has to hurry. The throw gets there by a step. Lopez is out. 2 up, 2 down, and here is Mantle coming up to hit right-handed against this relief left-hander. Mantle against starting pitcher Fisher, who gave up the first 6 runs. Walked in the first inning, and against relief pitcher Jones, hit a tremendous triple in the 3rd. When I say tremendous, I mean it. You know how big center field is here. Well, Mantle hit the center field wall on a short bounce, just to the right field side of where it is marked 461. You're not bunting when you hit one like that. left-hander pitches, and Mantle swings and hits it past the mound to the second baseman, Breeding, who has played perfectly for it, and Mickey is out. So Steve Barber comes on, sets the Yankees down 1-2-3. And in the 3 innings, the totals, the Yankees 12 runs, 11 hits and no errors, and the Orioles 1 run, 1 hit and no errors. Now we'll get Mr. Rizzuto over here. Bill, I wonder where all the people are who were worrying during spring training camp about the lack of attack that the Yankees had.
Well, Red, I'm sure they're around, but I think they're starting to wonder what's happened to the Yankees now with this sudden surge of power and good pitching and good defense. But like Casey Stengel and even we've been saying all along, the Yankees were much better than their spring record shows. So the Yankees will have tomorrow afternoon off, and then next Tuesday afternoon, the Yankees play host to the Boston Red Sox here at the stadium for just 1 day. And then the following day, the slugging Washington Senators will be in for 1 game. That's Wednesday, April the 27th. So if you can get an afternoon off, these games next Tuesday and Wednesday should be attractive ones. Take a look at the scoreboard in the American League. Boston 4, Washington 3 at the end of 5. Sturdivant for the Red Sox. Ramos started, Clevenger in the second. Earl Batty home in the fourth with nobody on for the Senators. Cleveland at Kansas City starts later on. The Tigers are leading the White Sox 6-0 as they knocked out early win in the first inning with 6 big runs. Baumann coming on in the second inning. Foy tack for the Tigers. Lou Berber at home in the first with the bases loaded. We'll have the National League scores in just a second. Ready to start here in the top of the fourth with the Yankees leading 12-1. Jackie Brandt, who struck out his first time up the batter, takes a pitch outside, ball 1. In the first game of a doubleheader, Cincinnati leads Philadelphia 5-2 at the end of 7.5. Turkey against Short. Casco and Robinson have homered in that game for Cincinnati. Cardwell and Callison has just homered, so it's a 5-3 game. Pitch is popped in the air to the left side. Tony Kubek, who's having a busy day at shortstop, is in foul territory and makes the catch and back a third, 1 away. That'll bring up little Albie Pearson, who took over for Gene Woodling in left field. Woodling had walked in his only time at bat. The Pirates are leading Milwaukee 4-0 at the end of 5. Buell against Haddock. Skinner homered in the fifth with 1 on for the Pirates. And the Giants lead the Cubs 3-1 at the end of 2. Odell against Anderson. Willie Mays homered in the first with nobody on. Pitch to Pearson is a little high, ball 1. The Dodgers are at St. Louis. It's 0-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Padres against Miller. The Yankees 12 and the Orioles 1. The Yankees scored 8 in the first and 4 in the second. The pitch to Pearson is a high fly to right center field. Mantle drifting over to his left under the high lazy fly and makes the catch for the out. 2 up and 2 down. And here's Jim Gentile. Big first baseman who popped to the shortstop in the first inning. First pitch to Gentile is a curve in the dirt, ball 1. Next pitch is hit deep to right field, right down the line, and curving foul just before it got to the foul line. It had the distance, but just pulled it a little bit too much. A long strike on Gentile. On Gentile. 2 men are out, nobody on. Top of the fourth. Slow curve accidentally hit slowly to short. Kubek comes in fast up with a throws to first in time to get Gentile as he tried to check his swing and hit the ball with the shortstop. For the Orioles in the top of the fourth, nothing across. The score at the end of 3.5 innings, The Yankees 12 and the Orioles 1. Ready to go in the bottom of the fourth inning, and leading off for the Yankees will be Yogi Berra, who certainly broke in with a bang here in his first start of the 1960 season. Yogi's first time at bat came up with the bases loaded, nobody out, single to center to drive in two, later scored. In the second inning with Mantle on third, after a triple, Yogi doubled to left and scored on a sacrifice fly and a triple by Howard. Steve Barber pitching to Yogi. He fouls the first pitch in the upper deck and back of third, strike one. Barber is 6'1", 193, just 21 years old, from Tacoma Park, Maryland. Last year was in a Class D league. Quite a jump from the D league to the major league. Pitch to Yogi is hit over shortstop and into left field. Another base hit for Yogi. 3 for 3. And Yogi hit that right off his fist. 2 singles and a double for Yogi. That's the Yankees' 12th hit in the ball game. Matches their run total, and here's Bill Skowron, who singled a right to drive in a run, has scored 1 run and then fly deep to center field. The Yankees have really been pounding that P today. Gentile holds first against Yogi. Pitch to Skowron is high outside, ball 1. On deck, Gil McDougall. In the stretch by the young left-hander. Pitch is pop foul out of play in the upper deck and back of the plate. 1-1 on Skowron. Baltimore has Pearson, Kolosik, and Brandt in the outfield. 1-1 pitch is strike 2 as Moose tried to check his swing and just couldn't hold up the bat. It went across the plate. Pitch was a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the stretch. Pitch is hit foul down the third base line. Steve Barber, who came off the mound fast, picked up the ball, rubbing it up on his way back to the mound. Barber goes to the rosin bag before checking the sign from Gus Triandos. Outfield deep straight away on Moose. Barber sets. Pitch is pop foul out of play. In the upper deck this time and back of home. Fans want to make sure you get out to see the Yankees real soon. They've got an exciting ball club. Don't let that spring training record fool you. They certainly showed it so far in the 1960 season. It's an exciting club to watch. At the stretch. Slow curve hit deep to left center field. Pearson digging way back, going, and makes a running catch in deep left center field. A tremendous play by the little left fielder. And look at Skowron hang his head and run slowly back to the Yankee dugout. The last time up, Skowron sent Kolosik way back in front of the Monument Center, and this time Albie Pearson, who looked like he'd run completely out of the ballpark, made a sensational catch in deep left center. A ball hit well over 400 feet. Oh, I tell you, if Skowron and Mantle were playing in any other park than the Yankee Stadium, though we certainly want them to play here, a lot of those long flies would be home runs. Here's Gil McDougall, who doubled and popped to the shortstop. Gil has driven in a run and scored 1 today. 1 out. Pitch is hit on the ground, slowly down third. Fair ball. Robinson goes to first. In time to get McDougall, Yogi moves down to second base. Gil hit that ball right off the end of his bat. 2 away. And here's Elston Howard, who has been up twice, has a homer and a triple. Hit his homer to the opposite field in the first inning and then tripled a line drive that fooled Kolosik as he started in and went way over his head, rolled to the flagpole. He's driven in 4 and scored twice. Pitch is over, strike one call. Yogi's feeling a little skitterish out on the bases today. He went from first to third on a single by Skowron, stretched a single into a double a second time up, and now it looks like he's got ideas of stealing third. He's got a big lead, but there are 2 away. Here's the stretch. The pitch is fouled back on the screen, strike 2. Howard was just 2 for 18 before getting his homer and triple. That makes him 4 for 20. He brings him up 89 points. He was batting 111. Batting 200 now. 2 strikes on Howard, 2 outs. Yogi with a big lead off second. Pitch is fouled. Just missed the on-deck batter, Tony Kubek. Oh, man, the Phillies are rallying against Cincinnati. Coker just homered in the 8th with 3 on after Callison had homered in the 8th with nobody on. That puts them ahead of Cincinnati now. Freddie Hutchison and the Reds are having a rough time of it in the early going here in the spring. Still 0-2 on Howard. Pitch, strike 3 called. He threw him a sharp breaking ball that Ellie was caught looking at with his bat on his shoulder. For the Yankees in the bottom of the 4th, no runs on 1 base hit. No Baltimore errors, 1 man left. And that is the first Yankee left on base, believe it or not, after scoring 12 runs on 12 hits. They finally leave a man on base. The score at the end of 4 full innings, the Yankees 12 and Baltimore 1. And now let's pause for station identification.
You are tuned to 1460 on the radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The current temperature is 64 degrees at 27 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock.
Here's Brooks Robinson, who'll fly to center field his first time at bat. The pitch is low outside, ball 1. The Pirates are leading Milwaukee 5-0 at the end of 6. Buell against Haddock. Skinner homered in that game. Giants lead the Cubs 3-1 at the end of 3. Odell against Anderson. Mays homered in that ball game. And the Cardinals lead the Dodgers 3-0 at the end of 2. Padres against Miller. The 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air to short left field. Hector Lopez coming to his right, under it in fair territory, and makes the catch. Hector is getting to look more and more at home out in left field here at Yankee Stadium. 1 away. Gus Triandos, the batter. Gus steps back to pick up the rosin bag before going up to the plate. Triandos is 0 for 1 as he pops to the shortstop his first time up. There has not been but 2 balls hit to the infield. Ground balls, that is, and both of those were picked up by Kubek. The rest have all been either strikeouts or fly balls. Ball 1 to Triandos. Coax is fast, and when he keeps that fastball up, the batters tend to hit it in the air, and they don't hit too long a ball off Coates because he's a little faster than the average pitcher. Big Jim into the big slow windup. Fastball hit in the air. Kubek, who's had a busy day, is going back in short left field and makes the catch just in fair territory. That's twice Triandos has popped to Kubek. Coates in the opening game against the Red Sox had the Red Sox popping the ball in the air. The outfield and infield had 16 chances combined. That's a lot of fly balls. Here's Ron Hansen, who fly to left field in the second inning. The pitch low outside, ball 1. He's already had Baltimore hit the ball in the air 10 times. And of course, the only dangerous one was Al Palasic, who homered with 1 out in the first inning. That's how Baltimore got their only run. The pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. This was a tough day on Baltimore pitchers. I don't care who was out there in those first 2 innings. Could have been anybody, the Yankees would have hit them. Certain days the hitters have their hitting shoes on and they'll hit anything. Pitcher could have his real good stuff and still get blasted off the mound. The 2-0 pitch is hit deep to left this time. Lopez turning around. This is over his head, rolling to the wall. Hansen around first. He took a wide turn at first. He's around second base. The throw is coming in, and Hansen's in with a stand-up triple. Boy, he caught a hold of that one, and that was not a lazy fly to the outfield for sure. A tremendous triple to deep left field. Been done before. The Yankee outfield playing very shallow. Boy, they're really playing in close. The 1-0 pitch is a strike call. A fastball right down the middle. With a short lead off third base. Pitch is foul at the plate. Strike 2. 2-2-2. This Baltimore club's going to cause a lot of trouble this year. Should the Yankees win this one, they will have won as many as they won against Baltimore all last year here at the stadium. Baltimore took the season series here at New York 8-3. They won 8 and lost 3. Fastball inside, ball 3, 3-2. Full count. Coach goes to the rosin bag. He's given up 1 walk, and that was to Gene Woodling in the first inning. Ready for the payoff, pitch to Barber. Here's the windup. And the delivery is low inside, ball 4, and he lost him. Second pass given up by Coates. Barber takes time to put on his jacket at home plate. Change his batting helmet. And it brings up Marv Breeding, who was called out on strikes and hit for the shortstop. Billy Klaus. Billy Klaus. Has taken over for Marv Breeding. Steve Barber at first, Ron Hansen at third with 2 out. Yankees 12, Baltimore 1, top of the 5th. Pitch is hit slowly to the left of the pitcher's mound. Coach flips underhand to Skowron for the out. Billy hit that right off the end of his bat. For Baltimore, in the top of the 5th, no runs. 1 hit, no Yankee errors. 2 men left to score at the end of 4.5 innings. The Yankees 12 and Baltimore 1. As Tony Kubek steps into the batter's box. Kubek has been up twice, and all he's done is homer twice. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball. Hansen, who was left at short, bobbles it, and that'll be an error charged to Ron Hansen. He moved well, got in front of the ball. It hit off the heel of his glove and then his chest, and before he could pick it up, Kubek was on at first base. Tony's been on all 3 times. That time on an error. And that'll bring up Jim Coates, who's been up twice and struck out twice. And the Baltimore infield will be looking for the bunt. Even though the Yankees are leading 12-1, I believe Casey will have the pitchers practicing their bunt. Because in a close game, a sacrifice bunt would be mighty important. Here's the stretch. The pitch, Coates squares around, takes it low, ball 1. Robinson and Gentile charging in after the pitch. Barber to the stretch position. Kubek leading off first. The pitch is hit down the first baseline foul. That time, Coach bluffed the bunt and was going to hit away. That's become a popular play with the Yankee players, including the pitchers. They're all trying it, and it's worked quite a bit. Get the infield in and then swing away. You can pop one right by him. Grant is really playing Coach over in the right field foul line. He's way over there. I like he'd play a good left-handed full hitter. 1-1 the count. Pitch this time is bunted at, and it's a good one. Back to the pitcher. He goes to first base in time to get close, but it advances Kubek to second. The sacrifice works. From the pitcher to the first baseman cover. Moving down to second, Kubek, and here's Bobby Richardson, who singles a lead off that big 8-run first inning. Was up twice in the first inning, as a matter of fact, and flied out his second time at bat to center field. In the third inning, he bounced to second base. Barber into his stretch position. Pitch is popped in the short center field. Coming on fast is Polacic, and he makes the running catch as Richardson just stuck his bat out. Actually, he didn't swing at the ball. He kind of chopped at it, a half swing. Almost dropped in there for a base hit. Kubek holds at second. 2 away. Here's Hector Lopez. Hector was up twice in the first inning. He singled, scored a run, and then hit back to the box. Then in the third inning, Lopez bounced out to the shortstop. Hector 1 for 3. On deck, Mickey Mantle. Kubek still at second. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Barber likes to go to that rosin bag. Now he's ready. Stretches, looks back at Kubek. His pitch is swung at and missed as Lopez tried to go to right field. Hector can hit out there. Good for a right-hand hitter. Matter of fact, that's where his base hit went the first time, up between first and second. 1-1 the count. 2 out. 12-1 the Yankees lead. Bottom of the fifth. Pitch is fouled back on the screen. Strike 2. Two strikes. Pitch. Oh, it bounced about 6 feet in front of the plate, went back to the screen. Kubek goes to third and then holds up. Oh, man, that was really a wild pitch. That ball actually hit 6 feet in front of home plate, bounded high over Gus Triando's head and rolled back to the screen. Kubek easily moved to third. 2-2 the count. Barber did that on one other pitcher earlier. Looks like he's trying to throw a screwball and putting too much on it. 2-2 to count. 2 out. Kubek is at third. That's 2 away. Up by Barber. Pitch way outside. It's a full count. 3-2. There's a lot going on down in Washington, too. In the 6th inning, the Red Sox have changed pitchers 3 times. Monboquet, Bozefield, and now Worthington is in there. Good day for the hitters, it looks like. The pitch is outside, ball 4. Lopez walks. And here comes Mickey Mantle. He walked in the first inning and scored, and hit a tremendous triple about 450 feet to straightaway center field, and scored on Yogi's doubles, then hit to second base in the third inning. Mix 1 for 2. Batting right-handed against Steve Barber. Lopez at first, Kubek at third. 2 out. Pitch is high outside, ball 1. On deck, Yogi Berra. stretch. Pitch is top foul and all the way out of the ballpark and back of first base. A high foul right over the roof. Yankees have had 2 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs so far in this ball game. Besides quite a few singles. Lopez leads off first. Kubek down the line at third. The pitch to Mickey is right down the middle, strike 2. And it looks like Mick might have been looking for a breaking pitch that time. He's got a big grin on his face. Took a fastball right down the pipe. Batting right-handed, holding that bat right down on the end. The pitch is an accidental foul right into the Yankee dugout. On a low pitch, Mickey was holding up his swing and the ball hit the bat handle. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Frank Humon calling balls and strikes just off home plate. Into a stretch position. The pitch is right down the middle, strike 3. Mickey knew it. He took 2 fastballs right down the pipe that time. For the Yankees in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, 1 Baltimore error, 2 men left. The score at the end of 5 full innings. The Yankees 12 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Baltimore 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. And then the White Sox, who are still picked by many to win the pennant this year, will be visitors for the first time this year on Sunday, May the 8th. And you'll see all those fellas that gave the Yankees so much trouble last year. Nellie Fox, Louis Aparicio, Suzuki, Roy Stevens, Minnie Minoso, and Gene Freese. And then after the Sunday, May 8th game here with the White Sox, the first homestand comes to a close with a big series against the Cleveland Indians. And Joe Gordon brings his revamped crew here for the season's first night game, Tuesday, May 10th, followed by afternoon games at the stadium on Wednesday and Thursday, May 11th and 12th. Cleveland has just come up with 5 runs in the top of the first against Kansas City. Woody Hale had a homer with 2 on. All right, ready to go here in the top of the 6th. Al Kolosik takes the pitch low inside, ball 1. Washington came up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They are tied now with Boston, 7-7. Is hit on a line to right field. Yogi Berra moving back and makes the catch, backing up. Kolosik, who had homered in the first inning, lined one to Yogi, who was about 3 feet from the railing in right field. If he'd have lifted that one a little bit, it would have been his second homer. Yogi's not a bad outfielder. We are suddenly left with just 3 umpires as Larry Knapp, who was the umpire at third base, has left the ball game, and maybe Larry's not feeling too well. We hope that's not true, but as soon as we find out, we'll pass it along to you. Humont, Drummond, and Berry taking over now. Jackie Brandt, who struck out and popped as short as the batter. He takes the pitch right down the middle, strike 1 call. The Yankees lead. Low curve popped in the air. The center field man will move to his left. Under it and makes the catch. 2 away. They continue to hit the ball in the air against Jim Coates. There have only been 2 ground balls hit. Both of them going to the shortstop, Tony Kubek. Here's Albie Pearson, who took over for Gene Woodling. Woodling had walked in his 1 appearance at the plate. Pearson flying to center in the 4th. 0 for 1 with a little left-hand hitter. 2 out, nobody on. High pop foul going out of play in the upper deck and back of first. On Tuesday afternoon, when the Yankees play the Red Sox. Starting pitchers will be Johnny Gabler against Jerry Castell. Castell is the lone Red Sox hurler to beat the Yankees up at Fenway this year so far. The one-strike pitch, slow curve, a little bit outside, ball 1-1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch, high outside, ball 2-1. Check that last statement I made. There have been 3 ground balls. Billy Klaus, who pinch hit for Marv Breeding, bounced to the pitcher in the 5th inning. Fastball hit on the ground to Skowron. Skowron backhands it, flips the coach covering in time to get Pearson. Nice play by the Moose. So, for Baltimore on the top of the 6th, they go down 1-2-3, nothing across. The score at the end of 5 1/2 innings. The Yankees 12 and Baltimore 1.
It's got that big tail. Oh, that Valentine tail with Brewers Gold.
Next time you're in the mood to enjoy good food, enjoy it even more with a refreshing glass of Valentine Ale. More than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. Valentine Ale has a big, big taste that really goes over big with food. A big, big taste that comes from Brewers Gold. Try Valentine Ale with any meal. See what a difference an ale makes.
Oh, that's Valentine.
It's the genuine
Ale with Brewers Gold.
Leading off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 6th will be Yogi Berra, who is 3 for 3. 2 singles and a double. He's driven in 3 runs and scored twice. This is Yogi's first appearance of the 1960 season in this game. And he's playing right field and batting 1,000. Steve Barber, the left-hand ready, has pitched to Yogi. He's hit on the ground. Shortstop to his right, up it. It's a long throw. In time on a beautiful stretch by Gentile. Man, what you had a picture of that. He had trouble getting up. He actually did the split. He'd make a good ballet dancer. And that's the only thing that kept Yogi from beating that ball out. As Hansen went to his right at short and flipped flat-footed. A nice stretch by Jim Gentile. Yogi is no longer batting 1,000. One away, here's Bill Skowron, who singled to right, and then his next 2 times up, slide out deep to center and left center. Pitch to Moose is outside, ball 1. High inside, ball 2, 2-0. On deck, Gil McDougall. As Skowron swings and misses a low outside fastball. Pitch is fouled back out of play. Onto the screen. The word on Larry Knapp is that he, too, had a touch of the virus that had hit Gil McDougall, Yogi Berra, and Andy Carey of the Yankees, and so rather than stay out there and get any sicker, Larry has retired wisely to the dressing room where he'll rest. 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3, 3-2. Pitch to Skowron is strike 3. Struck him out on a high fastball. strikeouts for young Steve Barber. Gordon Jones had 2. That's 5 on the day for the Baltimore pitchers. And here's Gil McDougall, who doubled to drive in a run in the first inning. Later scored. Popped to short and then bounced to third. On deck, Elston Howard. Barber's first pitch is in there for a called strike. Low inside, ball 1-1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Yankees 12, Baltimore 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch in the dirt. And rolling back to the screen, ball 2, 2-1. For the 2-1 delivery. There it is. It's a little bit high. Ball 3, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4. Oh, wait a minute. That was a strike. It's a full count on McDougall. The official paid attendance 19,460, and a total, including servicemen, 20,013. Payoff pitch fouled on the screen and out of play. A little too quick calling that last pitch the ball. Took my eye off the plate, a right down walk, and looked up, and there's a strike on the scoreboard. 3-2 on McDougall. Here's the payoff pitch. A ground ball hit the third. Brooks Robinson's up with it. Over to Gentile, and that's all for the Yankees. In the bottom of the 6th, nothing across. The score at the end of 6 full innings, the Yankees 12, Baltimore 1, and we pause for station identification.
You are tuned to 1460 on the radio dial, WOKO, Albany, New York. The current temperature is 71 degrees at 3 minutes past 4.
Take another look at this scoreboard. Man, it's a dandy. A lot of runs being scored today. At the end of 6.5, Boston and Washington all tied up 7-7, but they've each used 4 pitches so far. Worthington and Kralik are the pitchers of record right now. Wirtz Holman in the 6th with 1 on for Boston, and Batty in the 4th with nobody on for Washington. Cleveland leads 5-0 at the end of an inning and a half playing in Kansas City. Bell against Larson. Woody held Holman in the 1st with 2 on. The Tigers are leading the White Sox 8-3 at the end of 4.5. Wynn was knocked out in the 1st inning. Bowman came on. Foytak for the Tigers. Berberette had a home in the 1st with the bases loaded. Casey Wise in the 4th with 1 on for the Tigers. In the National League, the Phillies defeated Cincinnati 9-5. Short the winner, Turkey the loser. Casco Robinson home for Cincinnati. Cardwell, Callison, and Coker for the Phillies. The second game is Newcomb against Owens. The Pirates lead Milwaukee 5-0 at the end of 7.5. Giggy against Haddock. Skinner home in the 5th with 1 on. The Giants lead the Cubs 4-1 at the end of 5. Odell against Anderson. Mays home. And the Cardinals lead the Dodgers 4-0 at the end of 4. Padres against Miller. Stan Musial home in the 3rd with nobody on. Getting ready to go here in the top of the 7th inning and getting ready to take over, Mel Allen.
Thanks, Phil. Hello there, everybody. Jim Gentile, first up in the 7th. A couple of outfield changes for New York. The first pitch is swung on, grounded out to second. Zubek up with it, throws to first in time. He had the flash far over to his right to get it. Ken Hunt is in center field in place of Mantle, and Elmer Ballo in right field in place of Yogi Berra. Bobby Richardson picked it up. Did I say Zubek, really? Robinson. Fly to left center and fly to left. 12-1 New York, 7th inning. Jim Coates delivers fastball in there for a called strike. Well, Larry Knapp has departed, as Phil told you, with type of virus. Seems to be hitting everybody. Haven't gotten over mine yet. Outside for a ball. Hit a lot of folks down in spring training. An intestinal virus, I think, most of us have had. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jim Coates delivers low outside for a ball. 2-1. The Boston Red Sox are here Tuesday. The Washington Senators Wednesday. And the Red Hot Tigers a week from Tuesday. Jim Coates' 2-1 pitch on its way. Low, ball 3. 3-1. Into the windup. Around comes the right arm, and the pitch is swung on and fouled off. Out of play upstairs. Full count. The Baltimore Orioles. They've had an amazing history. Before the turn of the century, they were in the National League. In 1901, they were in the American League. The payoff pitch to Brooks Robinson. Swung on, line down the left field line, going foul and out of play. 3-2 the count. Then their franchise was transferred, I believe, in 1903, oddly, to New York, where the team became known as the Highlanders. The Highlanders were the forerunners of the Yankees. John McGraw used to play for the Orioles. Here in the big league. Of course, until Baltimore's most recent entry into the majors, they were in the International League. Jim Coates to the windup and the payoff pitch. Swung on and popped up back of second. In short center now, Hunt comes in and makes the catch. Richardson was out and could have made it, but it was easier for the center fielder to make the catch coming in on the ball. With 2 down, Gus Triando steps up. Twice he has popped out to Kubek. And both times along the left field line. In back of McDougald. Coates delivers a fastball that's in there for a strike. Field straight away. The 1-strike pitch. Change up there is grounded foul off the left of the plate. Strike 2. Pulled the string on him. Two-strike pitch. Fastball outside, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch on its way to Gus. Curveball grounded foul down the third baseline, just barely foul. Count remains 1-2. count on Gus Triandos. Jim Coates delivers. Change up is lofted down the left field line. Foul and out of play. Into the windup. Around comes the right arm. The pitch, fastball, hits foul down the left field line. He got way out in front. Pulled it too much. He goes into the upper deck along the left field line. Down holds it 1-2. Coach massaging a new ball. Gives the Rosenbach a little touch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind up, the pitch to Triandos, swung on. A ground ball hits McDougal in front of Kubek, up with it, throws to Skowron to retire Triandos and the Orioles in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 6.5 innings, New York 12, Baltimore 1. Right now, let me give you the good word about something really big. I'm talking about the big taste of Ballantine Ale. Pour yourself a glass full and discover its refreshing, satisfying goodness. Enjoy its big difference in taste that comes from Brewer's Gold, a rare strain of hops used exclusively in Ballantine's own true ale recipe. You know, Brewer's Gold makes Ballantine Ale more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. Because, man, this ale really brings out the best in food. You really enjoy your favorite meal even more when you enjoy it, right along with the big taste of Ballantine Ale. So, why not see what a difference an ale makes? A Ballantine Ale with Brewer's Gold. We have a new pitcher coming in for Baltimore. It's going to be John Anderson. Steve Barber came along in the 3rd inning and twirled, as they say, a neat 4 innings, allowing only 1 hit and didn't allow any runs. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Jack Fisher, who started, couldn't get anybody out in the 1st inning, working the 6 batters. He was charged with 5 hits and 6 runs, and Gordon Jones, who relieved him. First 2 men hit him for homers, Howard and Kubek. And then in the 2nd inning, they picked up 4 hits and 4 runs off Jones. John Anderson coming on as we play ball in the last half of the 7th inning. The Boston Red Sox with Ted Williams will be along on Tuesday, and the Washington Senators Wednesday. It's worked in the schedule 2 one-game appearances by these 2 clubs. And then, of course, the high-flying Detroit Tigers, who last year got off to such a very poor start, losing something like 15 out of 17. They haven't been beaten yet. And they're leading the White Sox 8-3 going to the 5th inning today. And they'll start the Western Invasion May 3rd and 4th. Kansas City May 6th and 7th. And the 7th is Saturday, Ladies' Day. Chicago here for a Sunday date. Cleveland the first night game, the 10th. And continuing on for 3 games Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Johnny Anderson making his 2nd appearance. Worked in this series April 22nd. Worked 1 inning. No damage done. From Browning, Montana. 27 years old. Elston Howard takes the strike. Clint Courtney has gone into receiving so that there's a new battery. Anderson and Courtney. Anderson, a right-hander, delivers. Howard fouls it back. Ellie, who had gotten off to a poor start batting, going into this game with 2 for 18, has had a 3-run homer and a triple that drove in one run and took a third strike. 12-1 New York, seventh inning. A two-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Fastball tailed right into Howard. Now Tony Kubek, who hit two consecutive homers. A single in the first inning, one on in the second. Safe on an error by Hansen in the fifth. The pitch is low, ball one. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch is low and inside, ball two. Jim Coates scheduled next. Johnny Anderson's delivery, low for ball three, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch hits inside. Kubek walks. Jim Coates out of the dugout. Getting a hand from folks. One away. And the pitch. In there for the strike. He had the boys breaking from third and first. Now the delivery, bunted at, and right out in front of the plate, Courtney up with it, throws on to first, getting Coates. Kubek moving to second on the sacrifice. Bobby Richardson, the leadoff man, singled to center and flied to center in the first inning as the 11 Yankees batted. Grounded to second in the third, flied to center in the fifth. Two men out. Kubek on second. Anderson ready. The pitch is a curve low outside for a ball. The pitch is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Two nothing the count on Bobby. Next pitch is outside for ball 3. Hector Lopez on deck. Nothing delivery. Swung on. Grounded to short. Hansen up with it. Throws on to first. In time. And that retires the side. No runs. No hits. No errors. And 1 left on. At the end of 7 innings, New York 12 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 4 left on. Baltimore 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 3 left on. tell you about the schedule. Why don't you get yourself a glass of cool Ballantine ale? The big taste of Ballantine ale. See what a difference an ale makes. The Red Sox next Tuesday, Washington next Wednesday afternoons. Then the Western Invasion, after the Yankees make a short trip to Baltimore, begins on Tuesday, May 3rd, with the Detroit Tigers, Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons. Kansas City will be here Friday and Saturday, the 6th and 7th, Ladies' Day on the 7th. The White Sox on the 8th, the Sunday. The first night game of the year with Cleveland on the 10th. Wednesday and Thursday afternoons to complete the series and the homestand. Yankees then hit the road. So hope you'll make your plans to get out here for the games Tuesday and Wednesday and for the Western Invasion. Andy Carey goes to third base in place of Gil McDougald as we play ball in the 8th inning. 12-1 New York. Ron Hansen, the batter, takes a ball as Jim Coates delivers in the 8th. Courtney on deck. Coates' pitch is low. Ball 2-0. Red Sox and Senators 7-all, end of 7. Cleveland 5, Kansas City nothing, end of 2. Tigers 9, the White Sox 3, end of 5. Giants 4, Cubs 1, end of 6. Cards 4. Los Angeles nothing, end of 5. Cincinnati 2, Philadelphia nothing, end of 1. Pittsburgh 7, Milwaukee nothing, end of 8. The delivery outside for a ball. Philadelphia beat Cincinnati the first game 9-5. 3 balls, no strikes on the leadoff man in the 8th inning for Baltimore. Coates into the windup and the pitch. It's inside, ball 4, and Hansen walks. Third pass issued by Jim. And that's the first time the Orioles have gotten their first man at bat on base. Clint Courtney batting in the 9th spot in the order. Left-hand hitter. The pitch is in there for a strike. The delivery right over, strike 2. A 2-strike count. He swings the next pitch. That's a high pop foul. Skowron and Howard calls for it and makes the catch. Coates was over. Either one, Skowron or Howard could have got it, but Coates apparently yelled Howard, and so at the last moment, Skowron stepped aside. With one away, here's Billy Klaus, who took over for Marv Breeding. He batted in place of Breeding in the 5th inning. Bounced the box. Jim Coates delivers to the left-hand batter. Low, ball 1. 12-1 New York, 8th inning. Jim ready. Checks his runner. And the pitch in there for strike 1-1. One ball, one strike. Outfield straight away. Coach into the stretch. Hansen leads off first. In comes the pitch. Outside for ball 2. 2-1. Ready for the 2-1 delivery. Billy Klaus swings and sends a fly ball into medium right center. Ken Hunt angles over on it and makes the catch. Ballo alongside. Retreating to first is Ron Hansen. You'll recall that Hunt replaced Mantle in center and Ballo replaced Berra in right. And now here's Al Pilarczyk, who got the Orioles off in front in the first inning with a home run off Coates. One of the 2 hits he's given up. Jim ready. The pitch is in there for a strike. Jim's going to a lot of slow stuff right now, featuring that over the fast stuff which he was emphasizing for the most part of the game. Hansen moves off first. And the pitch, a change-up. Misses. Ball 1, 1-1. Frequently, a good fastball pitcher may begin to lose his edge toward the end of the game, and he'll switch over to the slow stuff, hoping to get it over. And hitters sometimes take it and wait for the fastball. Another change-up that's low, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jim to his stretch. Hansen moves off first. The pitch swung on, grounded foul past first. Al Pilarczyk at bat. A 2-2 count. Jim Coates sets, checks the runner. The pitch to Pilarczyk. Swung on and fouled off behind the plate. Made him reach for that string puller. When I was a kid, we used to call them slow balls. You'd say slow ball, fast ball, a drop. Today they call a drop a sinker. How we used to admire a fellow, you know, like when you're 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and then we used to admire a fellow could throw a drop or make a ball curve. He was one of the heroes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coates into the stretch. Hansen leading away from first. The pitch, another slow delivery, fouled off right up here. Count remains 2-2. Humont back to the plate from Dunellen, New Jersey. Jim Coates again to the stretch. Hansen leading away from first. The delivery, fastball swung on and lined right through the middle for a base hit. Hansen holds up at second as Hunt charges the ball and throws into Kubek. Pilarczyk hung in there, as they say. And kept looking for the fastball. Finally got it and singled to center. Now Jackie Brandt, who struck out, popped to short and flied to center. Albie Pearson on deck. Hanson leads off second. Pilarczyk off first. Jim Coates after the stretch pitches inside and high. Ball one. 12-1 New York, 8th inning. 3 hits given up by Coates. Jim to the stretch. Runners lead away. The pitch to Jackie Brandt. Sails high and inside for ball 2. 2-0. Jim looks as if he's beginning to tire a little. Somebody hollers to him from the Yankee dugout. When you come and watch a ball game, this is for most pitchers. You see that ball, if he's got his stuff, as the game begins, and he tries to keep the ball low, and then later in the game, if you see it starting to rise, starting to come up, you know he's beginning to weaken. 2-0 pitch. Low for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Nothing to count now on Jackie Brandt with 2 aboard in the 8th inning. Albie Pearson, who replaced Gene Woodling, on deck. Jim Coates to the stretch and the pitch. And it's low. Ball 4. Jackie Brandt walks, and the Orioles have the bases loaded. Hanson moves over to third. Pilarczyk to second. Brandt to first. 4 walks issued by Coates, 2 of them in this inning. And there's a little stirring around now in the Yankee bullpen. 5 foot 5.5 Albie Pearson. Left-hand batter. Up there with the bases loaded. He usually gets a piece of the ball. And the pitch. Swung on. There's a drive to deep right field. It is going, it is gone. A grand slammer. Little Albie Pearson hits a grand slam homer into the right field seat. And it is 12-5. By the reception committee at home plate, Hanson, Pilarczyk, and Brandt, and Gentile, who is now coming to bat. Albie Pearson wasted no time, slammed the first pitch into the right field seats for a grand slam home run. And it's 12-5. That's the 4th homer in the game, 2 for the Orioles, Pilarczyk and Pearson. For the Yankees, Howard and Kubek. Jim Gentile, 0 for 3, left-hand batter. Swings and fouls it off down the first baseline. Strike 1. Now let's double check that. That's the 5th homer of the game. Kubek hit 2. 12-5 now the score. Coates delivers. Ball is swung on and popped up into the air right at home plate. Howard under it and makes the catch. When he caught it, he had to back up into fair territory. 4 runs for Baltimore. 2 hits. No Yankee errors and no one left on. And at the end of 7.5 innings, the Yankees 12, the Orioles 5.
It's got that big taste, big tail taste. Oh, that Valentine filled with Brewers Gold.
Time for a breather right now. Time to open up a cool Valentine ale with Brewers Gold to relax and quench your thirst. But after the game, when you want more than a thirst-quenching drink, try this same Valentine ale with your meals. Discover how big Valentine ale goes with whatever you're having for dinner. With your meal, you'll find the big, big taste of Ballantine Ale is more than a thirst quencher. Different than any beer. Try it and see what a difference an ale makes. We pause for station identification.
You are tuned to 1460 on the radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The current temperature is 71 degrees at 24 minutes before the hour of 5 o'clock.
Half of the 8th inning. To 5, New York. Hector Lopez, first up. Ken Hunt on deck. He replaced Mantle. The delivery inside for a ball from Johnny Anderson, the fourth Orioles pitcher. Anderson, a right-hander. Ender is wind up and the pitch. It sails inside, ball 2. Larsick homered in the first of the first for your late tuners in. And then the Yankees came back and rocked Fisher and Jones for 8 runs in the first inning. 2-0 delivery, low, ball 3. Richardson single, Lopez singled. Mantle walked to load the bases. Berra, playing his first game of the year, singled in 2. Skowron singled in 1. McDougal doubled homer on. That was all for Fisher. Jones came in and was greeted by back-to-back homers by Howard and Kubek. Next pitch inside. Ball 4, and Lopez walks. Then in the second inning, Mantle tripled, Berra doubled, Howard tripled, and Kubek got his second straight homer, and the Yankees had 12 runs and 11 hits, and they've only had 1 hit since. Meantime, Coates had shackled the Orioles until the grand slammer by Pearson in the 8th. Ken Hunt up. Bunt foul, strike 1. Hunt's first time at bat. Elmer Ballo on deck. Hunt replaced Mantle and Ballo replaced Berra. Yogi is playing right field. Maris sidelined with slight injury. No balls, 1 strike. Johnny Anderson in the stretch. And the delivery. High curve, ball 1, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Hunt. He bunts it in the air, and it stays on the ground. Picked up by Anderson, throws to Gentile, sacrifice. Lopez moving to second. Now Elmer Ballo, 39-year-old veteran. Yogi had 3 for 3 his first 3 appearances, and then grounded to short. Ballo's first time up. Barber, who followed Fisher and Jones, worked a nice 4 innings, giving up just 1 hit. Anderson came on the 7th. He walked 2. Ballo takes a low delivery, ball 1. Anderson into the stretch. Lopez leads away from second, and the pitch. Swung on, foul back, strike 1, 1-1. Bill Skowron on deck. One ball, 1 strike. Fastball inside. inside. 2-1. Next delivery. Inside, ball 3. A little knuckleball popped out of the mid of Courtney. 3-1. Pearson shaded just a little to left center. Kolarczyk to right center, and Brandt way over toward the right field line for Ballo. Anderson to the stretch. The 3-1 pitch is low and inside for ball 4. And here's the Moose. He swing to the right, fly to center, left center, and struck out. Lopez on second. Elmer Ballo on first. 1 out. Last the 8th. 12-5 New York. Johnny Anderson, a right-hander, pitches. Moose swings and hits the drive foul down the right field line. Going in the upper deck. Strike 1. Lopez moves off second. Ballo off first. 1 away. Anderson ready. And the pitch. High and inside. Ball 1, 1-1. Gives Skowron a lot of room between the third baseman and shortstop. Here's the delivery. High and inside. 2-1. Outfield plays him straight away. He hits to all fields. Good power. Andy Carey on deck. He'd replace McDougald. 2-1 count on Skowron. Runners lead away. Anderson steps off the rubber, and Hector Lopez dashes madly back to second. No throw. Clouds had come over. Now we're ready to continue, and the pitch swung on and fouled off upstairs to the right of the plate. Strike 2, 2-2. Scared a pigeon. Watching the game from right field, flew over to watch it now from left field. They could read their minds. I'm probably wondering what these folks are doing down there. 2-2 pitch. Curveball outside. Ball 3, 3-2. What's that story about the guy on the subway? And the pigeon perched on his shoulder, and the guy says, where'd you get the pigeon? Or asked him some question about it. I don't know. He got on at Columbus Circle. There go the runners. The pitch is swung on. Loops into center. Coming on fast is Kolarczyk. Can't get it. Base hit. Lopez rounds third. Comes in to score. And Ballo races to third. Skowron loops a short single to center to drive in his second run. Sends Ballo to third. Scoring Hector Lopez with the Yankees' 13th run. Skowron's 8th run batted in. Of course, this season. Andy Carey is first at bat. 1 out, runners on first and third. Anderson's pitch swung on. Little roller down the third base line, goes foul. Strike 1. one strike. There's some action in the Yankee bullpen. Here's the pitch. High, ball one, 1-1. John Anderson, the fourth Oriole pitcher, to the stretch. Ballo off third, Skowron off first. The delivery, curve outside. Ball two, slow curve. Two balls, one strike. Runners leading away from first and third. And the pitch swung on. It's a high foul over near the Yankee dugout. Courtney getting under it, and he dropped it. Jim Gentile was there that might have made the catch. Courtney thought he had it. Bounced off the edge of the mitt. I'll say this in behalf of Courtney. He was right near the top step of the Yankee dugout, and a player is always fearful that his momentum may carry him, and he got nowhere to step. And you fall down and hurt yourself seriously. However, they have charged him with an error to prolong, because he prolongs the life of Terry at bat. A 2-2 count. Ballo leads off third, Skowron off first. Anderson's pitch. There goes the runner from first as the ground ball hits the second. They only have one play to first base as Ballo scores. But Casey running Moose on the plate beats the double play. Klaus throwing out Carey, who is credited with the run batted in. Ballo scoring. Makes it now 14-5. 2 down, and Elston Howard up. Ellie homered with 2 on in the first inning, tripled with 1 on in the second, and then the last 2 times up struck out, once looking. Anderson's pitch swung on. There's a drive to deep left center. Albie Pearson digging, still going and can't get it. It's way by him. Howard rounds first, goes to second. He's going to try to make 3. The throw to Hanson. The throw into third. Howard slides, and he's in there with his triple. Runs batted in today by Elston Howard. As he scored, Skowron. Baseball is an interesting game when you dissect it. If Casey hadn't run Skowron on that pitch, that Carey hit, double play would have ensued, assuming perfect handling of the ball, and the inning would have been over with 1 run. Instead, 2 have crossed since. And it's 15-5. Elston Howard snapped out of his slump with a homer and 2 triples and 5 runs batted in. Tony Kubek takes the strike. Tony's had a pair of homers, safe on an error by the shortstop, and walked. He's been on base every time. Curveball inside, 1-1. Hits for New York. Outside for a ball. Shunwan. Two balls, 1 strike. 2 men away. Howard on third. The pitch to Kubek. Swings and misses. Strike 2. Curved him under the hand. Anderson to the windup. Howard up the line. The pitch Swung on, foul tip behind the plate. Count remains 2-2. Two strikes. And the pitch. Slope curve is high. Ball 3, 3-2. And the next delivery swung on and hit to Gentile rather at first. He flipped to Anderson, covering, and Kubek is retired. The Yankees, 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Orioles, and 1 left on. At the end of 8 innings, the Yankees 15 runs, 14 hits, no errors, 5 left on. The Orioles, 5 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and 3 left on. On the Valentine scoreboard, and by the way, we're going to have a new pitcher coming in the 9th inning place of Coates. Looks to be Johnny James. Washington. He will be here next Wednesday. 11, Boston 7. Ramos, Clevenger, Hyde, Kralik, and Pasquale going into the 9th. Boston, Sturdivant, Monbouquet, Bozefield, and Worthington. Home runs, Wirt, 1 on. Thompson, 1 on. Clinton in the 9th. Batty for Washington. Cleveland 5, Kansas City nothing, end of 3.5. Bell and Larson held, hit a 3-run homer in the first inning. Detroit 12, Chicago 3, end of 7. Foytak for the Tigers. Wynn, Bowman, Foresti, and Stryker for the White Sox. Home runs, Berberette with the bases loaded. 2 for Casey Wise, 1 with 1 on. In the National League, Philadelphia beat Cincinnati 9-5 in the opener. Short in relief, the winner. Berkey, the loser. Cardwell had started. Homers, Casco 1 on, Robinson 1 on. Coker with the bases loaded. Cardwell 1 on, and Callison. Cincinnati 4, Philadelphia 1, end of 2 innings of the second game. Newcomb for Cincinnati. Owens, Robinson in the second, Simmons in the third for the Phils. McMillan got his 5th homer. Casco homer to the 1 on. Pittsburgh beat Milwaukee 7-3. Haddock, the winner, beating Buell. Skinner homer to the 1 on. San Francisco 4, Chicago 2, end of 7.5. Odell relieved by Lowe's in the 8th. Anderson relieved by Elston in the 8th. Home runs, Mays and Averill. Cardinals 4, Los Angeles 1, end of 6 innings. Miller for the Cards. Klein relieves in the 7th. Padres pitching for Los Angeles. Musial homered in the 3rd. Been something like 24 homers in the major leagues today. Now to the 9th inning. Johnny James pitching. Brooks Robinson hits his first pitch down the left field line for possible extra bases. He turns first and heads on into second with a double. Johnny James, first pitch in the 9th inning, lined into the left field corner by Brooks Robinson for a double. Andy Carey moved to left field and Clete Boyer to third base. John Powers at bat, hitting for Anderson, takes it low and inside. Brooks Robinson had flied to the outfield 3 times before he just doubled to left. Jim Coates in his 8 innings gave up 4 hits and 5 runs. Grand slam homer by Albie Pearson there in the 8th inning. The delivery to Powers is low and inside, ball 2. Johnny James making his debut this season. Won the Jim Dawson Memorial Award for the outstanding rookie in spring training. Falling behind Powers, pinch hitting for Anderson. And the delivery, it's low and inside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. 15-5, New York. It's the 9th inning. Hanson on deck. Brooks Robinson on second. Johnny James delivers Low for ball 4. Runners on first and second, nobody out. And Ron Hansen coming up. Slide to left, triple to left, and walk. The delivery in there for a strike. Robinson on second. Powers on first. The pitch to Hansen. Curve outside, and the count's 1-1. Now the delivery. It's inside for ball 2, 2-1. The Red Sox rally in the ninth inning, featuring homers by Thompson, 1 on, and Clinton. Fell 1 run short, and the Senators beat the Red Sox 11-10. 2 on, nobody out here in the ninth inning. Johnny James delivers, swung on. There's a drive into deep left center. Moving over for it is Hunt and makes the catch. No advance. The runners went halfway. 1 down. And here's Clint Courtney, who fouled out to the catcher in the 8th. When the Orioles established a new battery earlier, Courtney went back to the plate and was put in the 9th spot in the order. Pretty good hitter. 2 on and 1 out. James delivers inside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Now the delivery. Swung on a line drive down the right field line, and it is foul. Strike 1, 1-1. Pitch. It's into the dirt, and it hit Courtney on the foot and bounced by him, and that loads the bases. Courtney hit by a pitched ball. So there are 3 men on and 1 out. And here's Billy Klaus, who flied to center in the 8th inning. On third, Powers on second, Courtney on first, 1 out, and Billy Klaus to replace Marv Breeding at bat. Johnny James pitches in there for a strike. Al Pilarczyk on deck. Three men aboard. The windup, the pitch. Low for a ball, 1-1. Robinson leads off third. 3 men aboard. The pitch swung on. There's a drive to deep right field. It is going, it is gone, and another grand slammer. How about that? 2 grand slammers by the Orioles. And it's 15-9. And the cash register is clicking at home plate. Robinson and Powers and Courtney and Klaus. In the 8th inning, Albie Pearson hit a grand slammer. And here in the 9th inning, Billy Klaus hits a grand slammer. 2 grand slammers in successive innings, and it's 15-9. What was a 12-1 ball game going to the 8th inning. Now 15-9, one out, and Al Pilarczyk up. He homered in the first inning. The pitch is outside, ball one. Fly to right twice, single to center. And the hurry-up call to the Yankee bullpen. The delivery outside, ball two. The Orioles have walloped themselves back into contention here. One out in the ninth, 4 runs in. And 2-0 pitch. Swung on, bounced down, foul toward first. 2-1. Johnny James to the windup, and the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike two. The 2-2 delivery, way outside, ball three. Tied a record for most Grand Slam homers in a single game. 2. Both American and National League records. Now the payoff pitch. Swung on as a high fly ball into center. Hunt under it. And makes the catch. 2 away. And here's Jackie Brandt. Pilarczyk hit a homer in the first inning. Pearson the Grand Slammer in the 8th. The Grand Slammer in the 9th, and both men came into the game late. 2 for Kubek and 1 for Howard for New York. Jackie Brandt at bat. Right-hand batter. James pitches in there for a strike. Albie Pearson on deck. The delivery. Gets the outside corner. Strike two. Slow curve. 0-2. Ninth inning, 2 outs. 4 runs in for the Orioles. 15-9 New York. Here's the pitch. Fastball. In there. Strike three called. And the ball game is over. 4 runs for the Orioles, 2 hits, no Yankee errors, and no one left on. And the Yankees sweep the series from the Orioles. Winning today, 15-9. The Yankees' 4th win in a row. They've won as many games against Baltimore at the stadium now as they did all of 59. I remember the Orioles came in here and swept a series. The totals, the Yankees 15 runs, 14 hits, no errors, 5 left on, and the Orioles 9 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 3 left on. Jim Coates, who worked the first 8 innings and who had pitched a 2-hit ball to the 8th and tired, giving up a grand slammer, and James worked the 9th. Coates the winner. Jack Fisher, who started, is the loser. He didn't get anybody out in the first inning, working for pitching to the first 6 batters. And then Jones came in and gave up successive homers to Howard and Kubek. Barber and Anderson finished up. Fisher is the loser. The Boston Red Sox will be in here on Tuesday and the Washington Senators on Wednesday. And then the Western Club come in on May 3rd. Detroit on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons. Kansas City Friday and Saturday afternoons. Saturday Ladies' Day. Chicago on Sunday the 8th. Cleveland on Tuesday night, the 10th, the first night game, and Wednesday and Thursday afternoons, the 11th and 12th.
Well, that
winds up another Valentine baseball broadcast. And now this is Bob Delaney saying that's all for now from the Atlantic Refining Company and your friendly Atlantic dealer, who offer you Atlantic Imperial gasoline to keep your car on the go. And P. Valentine and Sons, brewers of the crisp refresher, Valentine Beer.